E-Gaming Bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the CIS minor build-up to, of course, the qualifier, which then moves us right into the major itself. Long way to go still. And for the ride, at least for the CIS minor, I do have just Harry with me. And what first two teams? We've got an academy, and we've got a newly picked up roster. And I don't know if you've seen it, but their video is badass.
I think I saw you tweeting about it, but I never got around to watching the video, Tom, because I don't find myself with much time nowadays.
He's too big.
Yeah, I know. I'm too busy. I've gone, premium. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to this. I've got my tea in my hands. I'm ready to go, ready to kickstart this one. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be on a fairly decent map to start things off as well. One of the personal favorites of mine in latter months. And that's going to be Train. I'm really excited to see how these guys do perform. The player really that I'm looking out for on how we decided to say it. Is it? Do you want to say Nemiga or Nemiga?
I like Nemiga. I think it sounds better. If I'm wrong, then that's also wrong.
Potential Tom Biz rebranding moment. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited because you got Cyber Focus in the roster, and I think he's someone who can do a hell of a lot of work. So, excited to see what he does bring to the table. And then, over on Team Spirit Academy, or TS.Academy, as they've been known in this event. Yeah, I'm really looking. I know there's a couple of players I quite like the look of. But my favorite one, both for the name.
Is it Nickelback? It's gonna be. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is gonna be Nickelback.
I think I cast him. I think he might have been in the last one as well. Not under this team, but I've definitely casted a few of these players before. Luke as well. I hope it's Luke and not Wanook. I think that'd be an absolutely awful name if it was that. And obviously Nemiga, already them as well. They're in the same sort of boat. I think they were obviously going through the qualifier. So yeah. Oh, and according to, I think it's Capri. I'm going to go with Capri. 1.6 Roman was a god, so let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. We're into the pistol round. And, quite a bit of utility, in fact, for the T side. They've invested heavily in that department. Only a kit and a smoke onto Bass, but it's going to be aggressive push already straight out from Luke. Doesn't actually spot anything as of yet and is going to fall back onto the site. He is the closest player on the B site, but they do have one around the connector as well.
Yeah, and actually with the setup, 2 players over in connector, they can quickly rotate between this B and A bomb site with a fairly hefty rotate coming on in, but as the smokes and flashes now look to come on through out towards A, it looks like their mind has been made up as Nemiga start pushing on it through, and Romy's first one to open this one up as Roman will go down, so they go ahead and pick up the first on their entries into the site. Nickelback doing some damage up from the train, but doesn't find anything. It's actually Cyber Focus going to take one down. Oh, in the blink of an eye, they pull on through, and that'll be TS.Academy to pick up that first round.
Yeah, just a lovely little crossfire. Every single player getting themselves a kill. Not really too often that happens, especially in pistol rounds. It's normally like one individual just tapping heads, doing some impressive work, but nope, just in the blink of an eye, every single player dies, and, well, now Nemiga are into the force buy. They've got to invest what they have. 5 smokes, so potentially some sort of setup, especially if they go towards a sort of upper spot. You can see a couple of players setting up just outside of A, so they're going to obviously break those windows and look to just burst out onto the site using a smoke wall. This does normally mean that they're going to be attempting at least to get the bomb down, but if you look at the position of Romy, he's pretty much the perfect counter, especially if the bomb is actually going to go down Pop Dog. Now, I'm not a fan of this at all. If you take bomb Pop Dog and you die, you lose the round. That's it. So they have to at least trade here. Otherwise, it's going to be over before it even begins. They do still have the chance to rotate B, but just looking at the positions, I doubt it. And, well, Romy now a little bit less of a position, but there's the first second. And, well, 2 players died. They at least hold on to the bomb, though.
They're now trying to continue this aggression in towards A. There's so many players here for them to contend with. Roman going to be the first man up onto the site, pushing on through the P250. As well as that's going to be doing some damage. Actually tapping away, and okay, gets himself two. Roman going to turn around with one, and in the blink of an eye, it's all onto the lone TS.Academy player, rotating in from B. He's going to find himself in the 1v3. They've got weapons now to play around with, and as he pushes out onto the site, he has to try and find these frags and not get traded. They are going to be playing it passively, falling on back. And Vicious picks up the first. It's going to drop out Hitmask, but he's still got some serious work to do. Bomb time going to be whittling down as it just stuck for time in the situation. It's just going to be a little bit too late at this point as it does tick away and then forced into the waiting arms of Roman. He will go down. So Nemiga, they're going to go ahead and take one straight back.
What on earth was that? Like, by the looks of their setup, at least at the beginning, it was perfect. Like, they had the player over in Pop to deny that bomb. He gets the third kill, and the round is genuinely over from there. It doesn't matter what you do to get the bomb back out of Pop when there's still almost every single player alive is impossible. It's just so difficult. But just going down that left side of the train, 2 kills with the P250, the round spins on its head, and somehow Nemiga has actually just brought this one straight back. And you look at the buy over on that CT side, it's got Romy at least. He was able to make a little bit of money based off that UMP, but other than that, the rest of the team are just back to pistols again. You can see this time, there's no sort of aggressive pushes from the T side. They're not looking to jump down Pop. They're just waiting. Patience is key, and as you can already see from the CT side, they need to make some sort of play. We've had Luke pushing forward, trying to find something, but it's just been denied early in the round.
Yeah, and actually that bomb, along with the rest of the team, will be making their way over towards Ivy. They do leave Robo just to hold off over towards A main as he waits for any aggression to come out here. The rest of his teammates trying to take control of Ivy. Desk as well going to be watching any potential push coming in from B, but they do make the decision to rotate Luke on Ran and Finn Vicious now rejoining everyone else out towards the A bomb site. So they're going to be walking into a stack as Nemiga now get ready and primed to go on in. Roman going to open things up as he does drop out Bass. They've still got some serious work to do. While Romy is going to be putting that FAMAS to work. It is going to be the play they needed. Luke going to be doing some more damage with the CZ in the blink of an eye. It all falls on a Robo who now finds himself 1v3, and Fen Vicious pulls through at the end, gets himself the double. And that is going to be TS.Academy to go ahead and steal another round straight back as it becomes forced by Ors here in the first map of the day.
Yeah, never a fan of forced by wars. Like, it's entertaining, but it means that both teams really don't get too many particularly good buys. Now, from a T-side perspective, I'm sort of more for it, just based on the idea that it's a lot easier for them to get a buy. Like, you can get the AKs for 3,700, a bit of extra utility. 4,900 is pretty much a 4 buy. And, well, fast push this round at least over towards that B site. A couple of players. Bass going to be waiting down over towards that ramp. Still not really dedicated as of yet. You can see them pretty much spread out across the map. They do at least have one AK, but the player who has it has no head armor, so it's very, very vulnerable. UMP may not be great at range, but if you got no head armor, just going to make things a lot easier for this CT side. And you can already see from the buy, they managed to pick up 2 AKs in the previous spot. Okay, Cyber Focus. They're already going to drop Romy, giving them the man advantage. The bomb still sits outside of A. You can already see a couple of players around Pop Dog. It looks like they're going to try and split this site from multiple angles.
They go ahead and throw those smokes out towards A. But now as you look, I mean, the two players that threw them, Robo and Desky, both going to be making their way over towards B. The bomb looking to try and join them now. Roman alone with the AK, the one player who does have a rifle, forcing his way in through Ivy to try and play this lurk roll. They've already rotated everyone over towards B. They're more than aware of what's going on, and the site still hasn't been cleared. Base is still very much alive and floating around within the site. Now, Nerinsky going to be able to pounce. Robo does find one, and what's going on once again? It could be another buy straight back. As Bass does manage to drop one play, but he finds himself now into a 1v2, does at least have control of the bomb. There's an AK and a P250, though, desperately trying to hunt him down. And they should be able to trade this out. Going to pop flash himself on through, and it's going to be perfect. He finds the first. Robo's going to try and connect this frag. He does so much damage. And now he falls on back. Robo has the AK, is going to have the bomb as well. But there's very little time either is to get the plant or get the frag here. And this should be around the base can win as he peeks out around the corner. The nade doesn't find the damage. So the bomb will go down. Robo takes the peek and eliminates him. And that is going to be a round straight back for Nemiga. They only keep one player alive. So rebuying is going to be a little bit more difficult here, but it should be more than enough.
question is, does the war continue? That's my wonder. Will the CTs actually go for this? And I think the answer this time is actually no. You look at the amount of money on Luke. So most of the team with over 2k, which means 1900 will actually get them a much better buy in the next round. So it's not the end of the world. I felt like they should have won that though. Nemiga should have a freebie on their hands. A few pistols purchased up as said, but there's no utility. Nothing to deny any pushes. Smoke actually left with a little bit of a gap. Could give Nickelback a chance. He's only going to need one bullet of that P250 with Dursky very quick to trade. Now he's looking to play that range game. Is being whittled down by these pistols. Has to be a bit careful. Because a rifle is so valuable in this sort of circumstance. But by the looks of things, so far at least, the CTs are unable to do too much.
Yeah, now it falls into Fenvicious all on a V4, and he's going to get spied out by Robo, who just goes hunting for these nice plain eco frags. It is going to be a third now for Nemiga as a team. It does go ahead and win 2 consecutively, but TS.Academy didn't really opt to buy too much into that round. Really, it was just pistols, so they didn't actually want to continue that force buy war anymore. Instead, we do see them now picking up rifles. They got the UMP on Fenvicious, and the AWP going to be in the hands of Luke. So now we do see the rifles for Nemiga trying to go up against the AWP. The first time we've seen one in play throughout this whole game thus far, and already Fenvicious looking like he's going to be taking the aggression with the UMP up close, potentially, as he just bides his time over the woods ramp. It's going to allow Luke now to flank on up with the AWP to try and hold the long angle, and well, for Nemiga, they've gone ahead and already got a player out through main in the form of Cyber Focus. Roman going to be covering his back, and then down towards Ivy, you've got Hitmouse holding the position. They're primed and ready just to split in towards the A-bomb site. They've got players at all angles. The Crossfire going to be set up to deal with Nickelback. They don't quite spot a peek it on out, but he will be tagged down low. But they're going to find himself in a bit of a sticky situation, but he continues to take the peaks and is finding some good damage on the back of it.
T-side going to double down, however. The Molotov able to clear out one, and the UMP, as said, nowhere near as effective as range as it was, and one by one they're being cleared out. That's 2 by Flames now. Roman with the Molotov, and this leaves just Luke and Bast. He's got himself that AWP still. Edging towards this B site at the T's, and could work out. That's the only real way I see them winning this round, is if somehow they push into that AWP. The problem is, in a retake scenario, there's just going to be no hope. There's no kit. There's only one flashbang, and an AWP definitely won't help them in this sort of circumstance. And while by the looks of things, Luke, he goes for the gamble over towards A at the last second, and that's going to allow them to cross over to the site for free. That's round done. He should just be looking to save his AWP.
He does hope to actually go peeking on into this. Isn't going to overextend. They're waiting over in CT. Doesn't want to risk going down. They know that this round is too far gone. So yeah, they will make the decision just to fall on back and save. And if they keep the AWP and the M4 up into the next round, then they will have these to play around with at least as Catalyst rifles. I mean, they can have very little money, so they might even opt to force buy up behind it. But it will be another now for Nemiga, which on this T side, already having that 4-round advantage, starting to build up your economy. I mean, they're going to be keeping 4 players alive potentially, but they do go hunting, trying to take the weapons out of this academy. And oh, it's going to pay off. They do go ahead and find Luke. That's the AWP down, and then down it goes the rifle as well, as this whole round just goes toppling down for TS.Academy now with very little money. They will just be buying down about $2,000. It's going to be a couple of pistols here and there for these guys, but that is going to be it. Which should allow Nemiga now to go ahead and pick themselves up a 5th and potentially now start to run away with their economy on their T side.
Yeah, what do you think of the Academy team sort of scenario? Because I know a lot of people have sort of spoken about it in a sort of sense that it shouldn't really happen, especially because we already know that if they somehow manage to both go to the major, I know, slim chances, but one of them would actually have to change their name, probably the Academy team. I think it'd be a bit weird if what do you think? Are you a fan of Academy teams?
I think Academy teams are a bit of a double-edged sword, right? They give players security, but then you also just end up seeing young players picked up by orgs who don't really necessarily have the best intentions with their fates and just basically plan to, resell them. And there's also a lot of conflict of interests going on there. It can be good. It just depends on if the org's heart's in the right place. And in business, a lot of the time, it's more about, making the fat stacks as opposed to, developing players. I just think as well with all the conflict of interest stuff. I mean, I was a fan of the ruling that was brought in recently where, Academy teams weren't allowed to take part in the same things as their main orgs. But yeah, no, I mean, I completely understand. It is going to be a fairly large conflict of interest if they do go ahead and make it through to the major qualifiers, or even the major. But I'm not 100% sure we're going to be seeing that. Tom.
No.
I mean,
Sure.
yeah. So the chances are slim.
Well, last time I'm pretty sure Spirit won the qualifier and then bombed out at the actual qualifier. Either way, aggressive push. Fast stuff coming out from the T side. And trades galore as it goes back down to a 2 versus 2. 1 HP on Cyberfocus. Bomb now out on that A site. Now, do they have vision of it? I'm not so sure they do. Luke seems to be peeking over towards Pop Dog. And all wrong direction. Roman comes straight out of Ivy, leaving it all onto Femvicious. Name which I will be struggling to say throughout this match.
Yeah, and he's got to go ahead and look vicious if he wants to try and clutch this one out. It's going to be 1v2, isn't it? As he wraps on round, he's going to make the right decision here. He will be coming in from a bit of an unknown angle, and is going to be hot on their heels. They have to be quick here. If he pushes through the smoke, something I don't think they're going to see coming, then he will be able to catch them both off guard, and it is going to pan out that way. Down goes Roman. Now Cyberfocus, he's got 1 HP in a dream. Well, he's trying to keep those dreams burning and alive, but Femvicious, the dream killer, is going to be here. Opts for the orb, which isn't ideal considering Cyberfocus only on 1 HP. There's 40 seconds left. Cyberfocus dealing with a chance. We'll be able to spot Femvicious out on the cross. But actually, he goes ahead and crosses back. And this is going to lead Cyberfocus to believe he's potentially ducked in through Ivy. Could be making his way up past that old hell. But no, Femvicious is going to be on the site now with the M4. Does make the right decision to swap back over. Cyberfocus's aim has to be true if he wants to clutch this one out. And as he rounds the corner, it will be Cyberfocus. 1 HP in a dream.
What a beast.
Yeah, I mean, as Shia said, don't let your dreams be dreams, and that's exactly what Cyberfocus just did. I mean, he went and achieved those goals. He did it.
I was so sure that he was going to die. That was nuts. Lovely shot from him. Not going to help out Team Spirit Academy in this sort of scenario. They are going to be back to their pistols. I think my favorite, like, Academy at least is the Fnatic one. I think their rivalry with their main team is beautiful. I'm hoping that Spirit will have the same sort of thing if they somehow play each other. I think, well, it's definitely possible in this sort of tournament where obviously they're not in the same group, but if they both get through, then it's almost likely that you'll play the opposing group team. So see how that goes. Either way, Hitmouse, he's looking to make a bit of money. He's got himself that Mac Daddy. Already, it looks like these pistols are just being cleaned up. Now, aggressive position from Nickelback could make things interesting. The bomb, actually only a few meters away from him, standing alone. If he could somehow drop that, then maybe miracles can happen. But it seems like Cyberfocus is locked on to this A main spot, just waiting around the corner. Nickelback, you can see the temptation in his eyes as he wants to go around. However, on the other side of the map, Romy has managed to at least get one. Femvicious will do a little bit more damage, but not too much as of yet. But there we go. Nickelback actually does manage to catch one.
Yeah, now we're into a 3-on-3. Cyberfocus going to be tossing that AK away to try and prevent them getting their hands on it. But he has got to watch out because Nickelback's still holding the angle. Femvicious now rotating in from a CT spawn. Just going to go charging out towards the A-bomb site. He's going to have himself a 5-7 to play with. Close. He's going to be doing damage, but Drinsky's not a fan of this. So we'll just be dropping him out. So the tactical ball is going to be called in.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, they're taking it early. I mean, early-ish, right? Nemiga, they're currently 7 rounds up. We see so many teams that would wait until it gets far later on, but at least TS.Academy have realized that they're making mistakes. They have to try and sort this out. I mean, Nemiga currently 7 rounds to 2. That's a 5-round advantage on their T side on train. So, TS.Academy desperately in need of really trying to remedy this. And I think what's been a bit of a reoccurring issue for these guys is they don't have any way of finding the frags early on. I mean, when you look at it, even when they've had that AWP presence, you normally see it on Luke, and normally he's playing over towards B, but even then, he can't take that aggressive peek, and that's kind of a mixture of him not really having the best spawns for it, but also lacking that support coming in, usually from Femvicious. They try and take it a bit aggressive, but it just gets shut down from the utility usage on Nemiga. So I think, yeah, the double up setup is what we needed. That way we can see Nickelback go ahead and take one of these over towards A. We've seen Nemiga rush out through a main time and time again and use that to take control early on. So having that AWP presence there out towards the A-bomb site now is going to be all they need to try and find an opener.
Back, just going to be playing over towards that connector, but it looks like the T's may look to switch things up themselves. early aggression over towards this B side. Cyber Focus doesn't look like he's stopping, just goes straight out. Then Vicious is already gone out of this round, and now Luke, he's abandoned, but he is above. That could be a bit of an opportunity. Straight through the smoke, we see Robo running. Nickelback's in a decent position.
Yeah, Nickelback's able to find one now, rotating out towards A, but no, Cyber Focus going to go ahead and shut him down, still within the site, causing so many issues. Luke coming in from high, it has to be the one to try and shut this down. The bomb's out in the open. Bass finds himself trapped over towards the A bomb site. He's got Roman just waiting in the wings, but he's not going to be moving anywhere anytime soon. As it all falls onto Luke to try and hold these guys back, and they know exactly where he is. He will be taking the peek on out onto Hitmouse. And watching these angles, they've still got Luke in the backlines, but they know where he is. They can just use the utility to keep him at bay. As long as he doesn't find this frag on Hitmouse here, then it should be all good. And no, it's going to go the other way. Luke will go down, and now, only now, is Vass rotating on round. Going to be making his way towards the B-bomb site. Luke has already fallen. He wasn't there to support him. 1v3.
What? I am so confused with what Bass was doing. I think he overthought that by a country mile. Because I don't know how, like, there's a few questions. One, did they not see the bomb in all of that? Because, like, the bomb was down for a very, very long time. So either they think that they haven't seen the bomb in some way and that maybe him staying in the corner if they go A, which I can kind of understand, but just playing it individually, that was never going to work. The chances even then, if he manages to be on the right side, is a 1v3, because there's no way Luke's surviving that. So the way, aggression.
Yeah, it's going to be Fen Vicious to open this one up. They just continue charging in against the guns, but Hitmouse going to go ahead and punish them for it. They do finally take him down, but Roman's there to trade things back. Nickelback actually goes ahead and converts one more, so now it falls into a 1v2 with Cyber Focus desperately trying to clutch this one out. Romy's going to be coming in on the flank, so Cyber Focus has to be quick to shut down Nickelback. He has to win this duel, or else he is going to have a player ready to stab him in the back at a moment's notice. And Romy walking to the waiting guns, but no, the P250 forever stronger than the AK at close range, because this game is 10 out of 10. It is going to be TS.Academy to go ahead and pick themselves up a third round. But I mean, still, when you look at it, there's more than enough money for Nemiga to go ahead and buy up. They've still got plenty of cash in the bank as well, so they're already going to be causing too many problems for these guys, and it does leave TS.Academy, you know, poised on the potential of a reset.
Yeah, and when there's 8 rounds already on the board for Nemiga, they're not going to be panicking whatsoever. And that was just a cheese round. Like, you can't really put anything towards it. That's running in with pistols and it working out. It's the buy rounds where they really haven't been too effective. I doubt the tac pause was, okay, let's lose the round where we've got double orbs and let's win with pistols. I don't think that's the strategy whatsoever. So we'll see if they can now rectify the mistakes of the previous round. Now, they could have had a double op once again, but they decided against it. So this time, just sticking with 4 rifles, 1 AWP onto Luke. This time going to be playing over towards Hell. The start will come in from Romy, and the push will come in on B.
Yeah, they're going to be charging on Ambassador to find one. He has to try and hold this site down. And Tariski's going to be coming in from high, but it's Cyber Focus to go ahead and claim 2. The AWP just rattling death down range. The bomb about to go down as it has to cross to the site. Cyber Focus will have to be turning his attention to that very, very shortly, but they've got plenty of time left to play around with. Romy's going to be pushing on up along with Luke. Looks like they might be keeping Nickelback over towards A and they think that it could potentially be a fake, but now he rejoins his teammates over here in the B-bomb side. And Romy going to be doing some good damage, actually, as Dursky already tagged down low. Cyber Focus, there's no stopping him right now, unless your name's Luke, in which case there is, as he goes ahead and finally trades it out. It is now going to be a 2-on-2. Dursky still holding off the site, finally going to fall, as now it falls on a Hitmouse. 1v2, bomb timer ticking away. Out from Nickelback, who does just go ahead and go for the plant. And oh, Hitmouse nearly walks into his waiting arms, but now running away, playing this perfectly. Time's going to be going far too far, but Nickelback with the CZ.
Oh, he hasn't got it.
And a jump, but he doesn't have the time. Does save the AWP. Potentially, yeah. And it will be another round now for Nemiga.
A Hitmouse, like, okay, the spray wasn't good. I've got to say that. It wasn't good, but he won the round. He baited out enough time. Just that decision right at the latter stages to run away rather than fight was definitely the right decision. And just look what he has done. I every time I see TS, I keep thinking TeamSpeak instead of Team Spirit. I'm like, look what he's done to the TeamSpeak cat. What? But either way, look at the economy. They've got some pistols. They do still have a couple of M4s, some utility, and
Yeah.
I was about to say an AWP, but Cyber Focus doesn't allow that.
Nah. Cyber Focus is just going to be quick to snuff that out. Roman doing more damage on the Nickelback, and he's been one of the shining stars for TS.Academy. Both these players really going down so early on. Bass then to follow. It's all going to fall onto Fen Vicious and Romy. Well, Romy's going to make things a little bit more difficult. He does at least dispatch Roman up close, but now he's going to watch out from the players pushing in from Ivy's. Now he finds himself with his back against the wall and a dog barking out my window. Hitmouse will go down.
Ambitious, able to bring this into at least a closer scenario. He's picked up a rifle as well. They still have a kit, a bit of utility. Robo pushing around, but he loses the duel. And somehow, from what was a 5 versus 2, we're now all the way back to a 2 versus 2. The CT side doing their very best to bring this one through. Romy, very good positioning, will catch off Dursky as well. And the T side, they've left it onto the man who started it all off in this round. Cyber Focus, AWP, but he'll miss a free kill. His best opportunity to turn this into a 1 versus 1. Has to try and find some sort of gap, but through the smoke, Romy will push. 4 kills this round. Massive stuff from the Team Spirit player. And now, actually, the T side are the ones struggling a little bit for money.
Yeah, they're going to make the decision now to force buy down, which is a bit risky. I mean, it means they can't, if they lose this, they're going to be struggling to buy up into the last round of the half. They won't have much money to work around with. Alternatively, if they go ahead and win it out, then they will cripple the economy of Team Spirit Academy for the last round of the half. So it is going to be a risk-reward play. The risks and the reward both incredibly high already. You know, making their way over towards B. You can see that Desky, the man on the scene, trying to open this one up. Now falling on back, watching for any aggression early on. There isn't going to be any coming on out in Nemiga. They've slowed things right down. They're not going to be so keen as to go rushing on in, falling prey to anything early on. They throw the smokes and flashes out towards A. So now we might be seeing some aggression come out as the utility does prevail and rain on through. Romy up on top of the train to try and hold this back. Nickelback can be spotted, but it's Romy to find the first. It's going to be tagged down low. He's got Luke here though to help him out if he needs it. Does also have the crossfire set up with Nickelback, who is going to be doing the damage. Luke going to go down, but it's the man advantage still in favor of the TS.Academy. And Nickelback, he's doing some work in through the smoke, finds himself one out of Robo. Now falls on a Hitmouse 1v4 to try and clutch this out. Flashed on back, fully blind and alone. 1v4.
Still to do, and he'll only manage to get himself one. And this should confirm the 9-6 actually for Team Spirit, because they're just going to be able to play up against pistols. Now, obviously, there's a lot of aggressive strategies you can pull in on this map. The aggressive B push with maybe a smoke or two should enable them to get the bomb down, and if they can sort of run down towards that connector, there's still a chance that the Tech-9s can win this round. Personally, I'd like to see a B hit, and I think from the utility they actually have, that's far more likely. I think going over towards A would be ludicrous. As we saw in the last round, even with full utility, you can get picked apart by a specific boost. So they are actually going to go, at least early on, towards this side. But you can see, it looks like the CT side are expecting that. They know that the economy is going to be hit. They're going to be waiting.
Yeah, the rush going to be coming on through, but already Fen Vicious and Nickelback doing the damage. Nickelback going to go to just be tapping away. Roman does get it in return, but look at the utility raiding in. The artillery is here as Roman, 22 HP, backed into the corner, still fighting for his life. And oh, he's going to be able to take a second before he will be traded out. The 9-6 is confirmed. CS.Academy do a great job of pulling back 4 out of those last 5 rounds to a much more respectable scoreline on their part as we now get ready to head into the second half. And the pistol could be the thing that, you know, brings them back to that 9-9 scoreline and equalizes it out.
Yeah, no, considering how they started, to get 4 of the last 5 rounds really isn't too bad, and I think they needed it to have a chance in this map. And in all honesty, a lot of the time we see it, CIS, sort of CS in general, but also just the sort of way that this map goes at the lower iterations of CS, you can see some quite T-sided halves. If the setups aren't quite there, you have a lot of ridiculous aimers just over towards that sort of T side who are just going to run straight out of that A main position and just take heads off with the AK. So I don't think this is over by any stretch. I do think Nemiga should be the better team, and Cyber Focus on the CT side, he's already shown what he can do with the AWP on the T side. If he's still hitting his shots, I think this could be over. But Tech-9, We've got a smoke as well. Bit of utility. In fact, quite a bit more than you normally see on the CT side, with Roman actually just opting for it in general. From the T side early round, it does look like they're just setting up, just waiting for any sort of aggression. Maybe going to go down pop and just split onto A.
Yeah, they're going to go charging on in. Nemiga have got 3 players here with a 4th rotating in, but it doesn't matter when you've got Robo who goes ahead and takes heads clean off. But saying that, Nickelback and Romy between them go ahead and put it back into a 2-on-2. Bomb's going to be dropped out in the open. Roman coming in on the flanks does have that crossfire set up with cyber focus. We can see the TS.Academy, they're not keen on peeking on out into the waiting arms of these players, but no, cyber focus going to go ahead and dispatch of Luke. Now it falls on a Nickelback 1v2. He's been somewhat of a pistol prodigy for TS.Academy, and now he has to try and clutch this one out. Roman will be able to spot him at range and does do the dink. So now the peek comes in from cyber focus. They both challenge and they pick up the frag. Nemiga to go ahead and secure themselves a 10th as they look to widen this lead.
Yeah, it's not looking good, is it, with cyber focus starting off that strong. And I think from the investments, he's just going to go straight with the Tech 9. I don't particularly blame him because I think it's as good as any SMG and definitely as good as the FAMAS. So, yeah, just going to save for that AWP, have pretty much the same weaponry as his opposition with a kit and a little bit of utility as well. No surprise to see Deagles coming out from a CIS team. I feel like it was born in their country and may have just moved over to somewhere like Nico a little bit along the way. We're going to see what they can actually do. And you can see the FAMAS is coming back in is quite interesting. It definitely gives them the range, especially with the range being nerfed to the UMP. I think that's a good decision.
Trying to push towards outside, but these FAMAS is doing some serious damage. The Deeg's not really finding much in return, but as you say it, Luke going to be chiming in with one to put it back into a 4-on-4. We'll be pushing on through Ivy, trying desperately to grab the UMP, and it will be Bass to pick that up and then find a frag on the back of it. So now they say bomb site just going to be split in 2. Nickelback going to take the peek out with a Deeg. Will be just chipped away out by Robo, who's not looking too healthy, and then Bass chiming in with another. TS.Academy looking to go ahead and take one straight back. Roman's going to fall. It all falls onto cyber focus 1v4. Tech 9 in hand. Trying to do some damage, but no, the Deeg's prevailing in this engagement. Does find Fen Vicious, but he's still got 3 more left to fight on 20 HP. The bomb isn't down just yet, so it is buying him a little bit of time to try and find some frags. But he shouldn't be able to get much more done than this.
I think we've just had hard evidence that the FAMAS is still nowhere near as good as pistols. Or the UMP, for that matter. But, hey, we're only going to find out the full potential of that gun when people start actually buying it again. So I am happy to see it. Maybe it'll get a little bit of a buff. That would be nice. But, cyber focus looking like he may just keep his weaponry. Now, you add the 1900 into his account, especially with the armor, and he has enough to buy an AWP. Now, that would be risky, a Catalyst AWP, but I feel like if you want anybody on a Catalyst AWP in this server at the moment, it's definitely going to be this guy, so see what he does. Actually, he doesn't have enough to get an AWP. He's off by 100. My maths was wrong, so maybe he will just save. We'll see. Looking like he's going to drop some pistols. In fact, just going to go for the rifle instead, and they are going to fully invest into this round. I can understand it based off the fact that the rest of the team won't be able to buy in the next round anyway, even with an AWP. But it does mean that they're going to be very limited in this round. But at the same time, you now have the 2 FAMASes, and Luke has decided that he doesn't need armor. Or is he going to go back? No, he hasn't realized.
There you go. There he is, Luke. The man, the myth, the legend, armorless and afraid. And well, Nickelback going to be trying to open things up, but Tim and Fen Vicious go ahead and find 2 between them. Roman only gets 1 in return. Cyber Focus doesn't get anything done with that M4, and now it's all on Robo, who at this point has to be a robot. And no, it doesn't pull through. Instead, he only gets 1. Bass had to go ahead and eliminate him straight away as TS.Academy go ahead and pick themselves up an 8th. Now poised and ready for the 9th, does Nemiga have to just go ahead and concede this next round? They can't afford to buy up anything. You might see Cyber Focus go for a P250, but that's going to be about it. But no, instead he opts for a solitary flashbang. And it's going to be Roman to pick up the P250.
Will Luke notice? How many rounds will it take
for
Luke to notice
still
he hasn't
no
got the
armor?
armor?
I tell you what, armor's just a mentality.
Oh,
it isn't. Yeah.
Those mind games. But once you believe that you have armor, you actually have armor. That's all it is. I kind of want to watch him, because if he gets shot once, he's dead. 1 headshot, he's out of this round. Doesn't seem to bother him at all, though. feel like eventually he has to look down and realize he hasn't bought any armor. Flawless round, of course. Only pistols. That will just be the buy now in for this CT side. Will Luke buy armor? He's bought an AWP.
Oh no, Luke!
Come on.
No, I kind of... No, he's not going to realize. And this is proof. You don't need armor. You just need to believe and play like you've got armor. That's what we're learning here from TS.Academy. A humble teaching from a fantastic player. As the buy going to be coming in from both sides. Luke still running around with his Glock just... Yeah, he's going to have himself the... he's going to have himself the AWP. And already, actually, Romy going to go down. They go ahead and lose a player early on. This is where not having armor on Luke could come back to punish them quite severely. He is going to be on the AWP. And they are going to be keen to pick this up against all the rifles as well. He's going to go down in an instant headshot to these M4s, which does leave them at a significant disadvantage, especially when you look at how much money Luke has. It's not like armor would have set him back. So now as they throw out the utility in towards the B bomb site, they look like they might be pushing on through, but no, it's all going to be a ruse as now they double on back with the bomb in through Pop, trying to make their way out towards A. But this is going to be hurt for Vicious at the B bomb site. Does claim one life before being returned onto. Bass going to go down, and now it's all on armorless Luke, who is, you know, the full mercy there as Cyber Focus and his mighty M4. The AWP going to be picked on up, and that will be around for Nemiga.
I'm sort of getting that sort of like Star Wars vibe where he's got all the tech ready to like shoot that little missile in, and then it's just like Obi-Wan going, "You don't need armor," and then he just like, okay, and then just decides to play without instead. He's got it this round though. He's decided to deny any further storylines in that sort of matter. I'm quite surprised he didn't notice, but to be honest, it didn't make that much difference in that round. He was alone running through a smoke with an AWP, so not really expecting much. AWP will now be in Cyber Focus, who goes aggressive. Finds himself that first kill, and he's going to be able to fall out as well.
Yeah, we're able to go in and get one straight back in return. It's now going to fall on back and pick the bomb up. A 2-2 split coming in from Nemiga with two players out towards the A bomb site, two guys over on B. They haven't opted to over-rotate any of these people just yet. Instead, I mean, we got Roman and Robo in the B bomb site, just biding their time, and it is going to be worth it. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It looks like they're going to be curious about what Pop has in store. That Molotov going to miss its mark terribly. If anyone was up by the barbecue, then they would be having a hard time of it, but that position isn't one you can physically get to. So now they're going to like to double back in towards B. Three players here early on. It looks like they're going to be having Romy come in from behind and watch any aggression out through Pop Dog while the rest of the team try and get control of the B bomb site. But if they don't use him in this initial push, which I'm hoping they do, as he is going to be looking to join up with them, then they will be going into this into a 3-on-2, and Roman's position should allow him to potentially catch one of these guys off guard, as push is going to be coming on him. He hasn't been spotted yet. They think it's going to be clear. The peek comes in from Robo. Now they know where he is. They go for the bait and switch, but it doesn't pan out as both Roman and Robo fall instantaneously. Cyber Focus and Dursky to try and retake this site. The bomb is going to go down. It's a 2-on-3. Dursky's out on the site, but Cyber Focus is going to be isolated from that Molotov. It doesn't matter when you've got Dursky, who goes ahead and takes two. Now it all falls onto Roman. Bomb going to be taken away. He has pushed up aggressive. Spots at the first. Going to be tagging Cyber Focus down as well. Tries to fall on back and does just beat the scoped rifle as Cyber Focus doing the damage. Somehow still alive and kicking. But Dursky with the 3K at the end. Someone who's been, you know, not doing so hot for Nemiga steps up in a big way when they needed him to the most and single-handedly pulls that round back.
Yeah, really nice retake coming in from him. He catches both aggressive players. Probably should have been traded out in multiple situations there, but just able to hit the headshots, and sometimes in CS, that's all you need. T-side, they are going to be buying in, but this will be sort of the end of their streak of buys. It's been 3 rounds in a row, or it will be if they lose this one with buys. So, not the best sort of scenario. They've been doing quite a bit of damage, though, so the CT side haven't built up much themselves. Luke this time, well, he has to go for an AWP with no armor. I suppose you could sort of say this was ultimately just an amazing meta game, because now he can actually afford one, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, I mean, also, we've come full circle back to the beginning. We originally saw Luke brought into this world naked and screaming, and that's how he plans to go out of it in this one. As, once again, he's going to be donning the armorless AWP into round 22. Double set up out for Nemiga as they look to try and lock this down at range. Cyber Focus and Hitmouse going to see them split between these two players, and they are going to have one out on the A bottom site, one over towards B. Curious to see that. I mean, Cyber Focus, he's not really been playing this B bomb site too much. It's clearly as a result of having that secondary op up on Hitmouse that they've made this rotation round. But it looks like TS.Academy are primed and ready to make their way towards A. And Luke going to open things up. He might not have armor, but he's still got the aim as he does drop out Desky early on. Man advantage seized here. Now Nickelback pushing in through Ivy. Hitmask going to unscope at just the wrong time. We'll be taking the peek on out, but Nickelback's already primed and ready. He's going to be waiting there with the AK now to shut this player down. Hitmouse still holding the angle. The rest of his team just securing the A-bomb site as they split out between them. Bassima to find one on the Roman. They're finding these frags, no problem. The Orcs having very little play into this, and Robo will go down. The last man left alive will fall, and that's TS.Academy to go ahead and pick themselves up a 10th now.
Yeah, and this is where the sort of economy restraints come in for Nemiga. As said, the last few rounds that they have managed to win, the first one at least was decent amount of players surviving, but the second with only 2 means their money is hurting. And, well, Cyber Focus, if you are going to be the catalyst player I named, this is definitely going to be the round you have to do it in. 2 UMPs, 2 5.7s, an AWP versus a 4x on the opposing side. And, well, Romy has definitely been the man to watch so far in this game. Looking aggressive, and so does Luke. Just going to go peeking over towards this ramp. Straight out through the smoke. Wonder if he wanted that smoke to bounce a little bit further down, because that doesn't really help him too much. But there is Romy. First pick as Robo looks to peek over the top of the trains. He'll go down.
Dasky just waiting over here, and Pop wants to try and find an equalizer. And, you know, with the 5-7 up close, he could potentially do just that. There is going to be a player nearby to trade things out if they drop down. I mean, you've got Bass and Van Vicious waiting in the wings to potentially make their way in through Pop. But where the bombs dropped, it doesn't look like TS.Academy are considering making their way out towards the A-bomb site. And now that Pop flash going to render Dasky useless. He's going to fall, and the push going to be coming on through. It all falls onto Hitmouse out towards A to try and hold back the tide of TS.Academy. You could see him have the crossfire set up with Cyber Focus on that AWP as he makes his way in through over towards Ivy. Smoke's going to go down. Hitmouse has to try and find some sort of opening here, but no, tipped away at Nickelback able to pick him up. Cyber Focus does rain death in with a nade, but now he's going to find himself 1v4. And it looks like Luke might even consider just pushing up straight through that smoke to try and find him. Cyber Focus just has to try and save.
Problem is, again, it would just be another AWP attempt. Even if he brings us into the next round, the scoreline will likely be equalized relatively soon. You can already see Romy looking for this hunt. They walk side by side all the way down, although now we are actually going to see... Oh, that is just perfect timing. Cyber Focus jumps up just in time to actually avoid it, but he's about to be spotted. Should be an easy kill for Romy. AWP if they want it, but they've already got 1 on the T side, so I don't see them picking up a second. And now there will be nothing for Nemiga in the next round. And the fact is, even with the loss bonus going into the next, they won't have enough for an AWP. So that's already going to be a huge limitation to their next round buy. Especially when you consider the last time they were able to, they actually bought up 2.
Yeah, and this time, you know, no such double up going to be in play. It's just going to be Nemiga sending everyone out towards the A-bomb site, and they're going to be loading all their eggs into one basket, sadly. Doesn't look like it's going to prove to be too fruitful. And actually, as you say that now, TS.Academy looking to try and turn their attention out towards A, could be walking into this stack as Nemiga just holding their ground with these USPs, looking to try and rain some death in from afar. With the mighty silence pistol, Romy to find the first on a Robo. Has to watch out. There's so many players here, but it doesn't matter because he's looking to try and pad those stats. Nickelback and Luke go ahead and find 2 between them, and Dursky's still alive. Does spot out Romy, but he tries to play things smart. And sadly, that's just not the way of the world. He will go down. The pause going to be called in from Nemiga, as now they find themselves on the back foot.
Yeah, that 1 kill that actually came in for Nemiga could be more valuable than we actually realized, because that is the glass cannon AWP if Cyber Focus wants it. Like, that 1 kill gave him the $300 that makes the difference. Now, he's been regularly going for the AWP, so I'm not sure, or going for the rifle, in fact, so I'm not sure he will risk it, but it does add quite a big avenue to their game if he goes for it. It gives a lot of sort of positioning over towards Hell, and he's going to go for that glass cannon. So that one kill in the last round actually making quite a big difference. Nickelback, I like it. Oh no, oh, I thought he was going to go with Mac 10. I'm really disappointed. No players with head armor on the other side. Cyberfocus with no armor at all. Could have been a juicy little farm for him. Instead, he'll switch up to the rifle. He's going to play it safe. He hasn't got the balls. That's what it is.
Just waiting over here towards A. Not going to be rushing into the waiting arms of Nemiga. Playing this perfectly, actually. Not giving them anything early on. The AWP on Cyberfocus yet to even spot a player out over in main. Does now make the decision to rotate with the AWP over towards the B-bomb site. It's going to be the wrong call to make as TS.Academy currently stacked up, ready to push on out towards A at the drop of a hat. But saying that, Luke's actually going to pick the bomb up. 3 players now over here towards B. Still very much up for debate where these guys could go. Singular smoke going to be raining down out towards the A-bomb site, but as that one smoke comes in, it almost, suggests that it is going to be B, the site in question. Wasting a little bit of utility over here early on. Dusky going to be taking the peek, but will have his face impaled by Bass. And well, now going to be taking things slowly. TS.Academy, they found them out advantage early on. They don't want to give the way to find an equalizer the way of Nemiga. But now as they push towards B, there's 3 players here for Nemiga early on. The push going to be coming on through. Hitmouse has to try and do some damage. Does have Roman to back him up, but it's Cyberfocus to find the frag, and amongst all the rifle fire, Cyberfocus still going huge. Gets himself a second. Not ready to give up this B-bomb site just yet. Hitmouse does find one of his own. Luke trying to hold the angle. It's Roman to pick things up. Cyberfocus going to be here, just posted up with the AWP, but actually walking into his waiting arms. It's going to be Luke. Now it falls into Romy. He dispatches a robot on the flank, now finding himself 1v1. He is to 3k, or Cyberfocus has to 4k, but there's no time left. It will be the round to go the way of Nemiga. And he tried so hard, he got so far. But in the end,
that one? Yeah, there we go.
It doesn't even matter.
Waiting. Yeah, not too much of a problem for the T side. They're still going to have enough money to buy. They've had some very good rounds. In fact, all of the rounds keeping 4 people alive is just wonderful for their economy. CT side will still be able to buy, but they've taken a big hit with only 1 player surviving. Of course, it was Cyberfocus, but it means they keep the AWP, but the rest of the players are suffering. 2 UMPs for those close-range battles, and the FAMAS for the slightly longer. But look at the strategy aggression out from this CT side, and it has failed. Quick trade across the board, only leaving 2 players left for the CT side. And the T's, they look like they were just going to run in, but after the smokes go down, they decide, nope, we're going to switch back. Cyberfocus is out. And, well, Team Spirit looking very good now, because that's, again, before it was 2 rounds. Now I think it's only going to be 1 before they're reset straight back. And, oh, Hitmouse looking tempted, but Luke smartly just waiting on the flank.
I know Team Spirit Academy are doing good, but you can't just call them Team Spirit. They're, I mean, it's all good, but
soon.
Yes.
What happens if they get through and Team Spirit don't? Do they become Team Spirit? Do they like evolve and just like send their...
I don't know, because I mean, take Rogue for example. They don't even have a team right now, but they still have Rogue Academy, which I just think is insulting to the Rogue Academy players. But yeah, it is going to be this time for TS.Academy, just some aggression out towards A main early on. They're going to try and pick something up. Fen Vicious holding over towards B. 2 players here. Bass going to be there as well to help him out. TS going to be taking things up close. Looking to try and cut through these enemies like butter, get his source of Nemiga 3. And no, he's going to make the decision now to fall on back.
East side playing just a default in this round. They're expecting their opponent's economy to be in ruins, and they are correct. CT side trying to play this one passively, at least over on the A side, but you can see just the spot coming out from Cyberfocus. The idea is he sees anyone, the team will come running to his aid, but until that happens, they're just going to wait on the A side. I like this setup. Whether it works or not, that's another thing altogether. Dursky actually going to be able to avoid the Molotov. This could be interesting if they go pushing down the side. He's going to try and go aggressive. There's a lot of players around that corner, and although he hits the dink, it's not quite enough to get him the kill. And now, well, we're trying to play at range, and this shouldn't be working, but Roman has actually managed to kill.
Yeah, he's going to be limping on 17 HP, though. The push continuing out towards A. He does find some more damage with the Deagle. That's going to allow Robo to pick up a frag. The trade will come in, but then rushing through the smoke to try and remedy this. It's going to be Cyberfocus who's instantly put down. It all falls onto Hitmouse, and he will just have his brain splattered up the walls as TS.Academy go ahead and find themselves a 14th. What was looking like it was going to be very one-sided the way of Nemiga. Let's not forget, I mean, this was a 9-6 half for them on their T side. Since coming on to their CT side, they've gotten very little done, and everything's been coming up the way of TS.Academy.
Yeah, they've been playing in a money-stricken side at the moment. They've never really had multiple rounds in a row, and even when they did, like, one of them only had 1 or 2 players surviving, so the economy hasn't worked out for them, but also the T side have just looked incredible. Romy is on 31 kills at the moment over on this T side, and Nickelback still keeping those stats going for himself, so I'm impressed with their T side thus far. Already, it's not going to help with Cyberfocus being tagged down by his teammate. They are actually saving for the OT play, not investing anything into this round. Means it's got quite a long way back, a couple of rounds, but it won't even be the best buy in the next round either. May not even have an AWP once again. This round, nothing. Every single player cleared up. 15-13, and as you said, after a 9-6 first half on the T side, Team Spirit Academy, don't worry, I'll say Academy this time, are looking like they're about to take this.
Yeah, currently, at match point, they're 1 round away from winning out this one today, and I mean, we both, you know, we're kind of leaning the way on Nemiga.
Can you imagine a Nickelback sticker? Like, I know it won't happen, but that'd be awesome. I want one. Make it happen, guys. Just win. Just win. As the famous people in MM say, just win.
No, I think it's okay, now we win, is the expression they use. But yeah, we are going to be seeing them early on. 2 players ever wanted to be for TS.Academy. Everyone else just taking their time. And this is something they've been very, very good at. They bait out so much utility early on. And then Nemiga, you know, they tend to go a bit aggressive. And they, you know, always get caught a little bit out of position on their CT side. And that's just because TS.Academy do such a good job of whittling down that utility and inspiring a kind of a lack of confidence in Nemiga to the point where they feel like they have to go probing for the information. This time, no such push going to be coming on in. Only player who's perhaps a little bit aggressive is going to be Robo. He's forced his way up in towards Pop Dog now. This position can work brilliantly, but in the past, they've always lost a player here early on, and that's largely because if Robo doesn't find these frags initially, or they go ahead and pop flash him back, he'll fall on back out through Pop, and then you see the player in A main just go ahead and pincer him, and it's like a guaranteed opener for TS.Academy. The push could be coming out towards B. Potentially, as they do go ahead and rain some utility in. It's not going to be the case. They do actually rotate back. Robo's able to find one, and this is where the position does pay off. He's going to be falling on back. Dursky holds the flank. The bomb going to go down out in the open, but the push coming in from Nickelback going to be doing some serious damage. Does put it back into a 3-on-3 and pulls this round back into the realms of possibility. Robo's still waiting over in Pop, trying to stay alive, but then Vicious going to go ahead and shut him down. Cyberfocus and Roman trying not to let this one slip through their fingers as Cyberfocus rushes out towards A, and it's going to be put down. It all falls onto Roman. 1v3, doing some damage, just going to be chipped away, and then TS.Academy go ahead and guillotine him. That will be a 16-13 scoreline as they pick up the first win of today.
Yeah, very, very good T side from them. Impressed by how they were able to perform. And, well, that's our first matchup done. They'll be moving on to what I think will be the upper bracket of this group. I'm not entirely sure how it works because I am a bit of a moron when it comes to that. But what I do know is that we are going to have a short break until we go into our second best of one of the day. So make sure you don't go anywhere as we'll be back in a short moment.